You hit the intro?
Yep. Where's the intro? Why
The
is it not?
intro.
Wait, what was I supposed to do? I
You're
pressed live.
supposed to hit. Oh well, you're supposed to hit the intro first
Oh, where's that at again?
under banners. You already hit go live.
Yes.
It's all good.
I'm
Welcome into
in.
Tiger Den Sports.
All right.
we
Where's the
did the
ban?
intro wrong, but was that?
I'm under banners, dude. I don't see the intro video.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay, well, you know
Oh
what?
well, we're
Well,
here. I'm the
yeah,
Blind Tiger. He's Lil Hoodat, and we
yeah,
got some NFL and Saints things to talk about today.
yes, we got
Uh,
Saints news to talk about, as many of you are well aware. So,
Yep,
yep.
we could talk about the top 5 receivers in the draft. We could talk about the Saints' salary. Um, I guess you can call crisis and strategy, and who they could cut, who they could trade, and all those type of things. So yeah, hit the subscribe button, like button, share button, and comment button, and we'll read it as we go.
Correct.
So what you want to start with?
All right, so let's talk about some Saints news that's going on currently in the right now. So the Saints are reportedly going to be releasing Marcus May, the safety,
Yep.
and they just signed Matthew, to a 2-year contract. They extended his contract to help with the salary cap, and Michael Thomas is going to be set to be released after March 13th, I believe.
Yeah.
And he's currently at Twitter war with Jeff Duncan. So, yeah. So that's currently the news going on right now. So, yeah, let's see who else is going to be released, who else is going to be extended. I mean, maybe Marshawn Lattimore is going to be released.
No, I don't know if he'd be released. I think he'd be traded, if anything.
Be traded. I mean, excuse me, yes.
Yeah.
Be a hit.
What would you think about the Marcus May release, though?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah, that was
you think that's a good thing? I mean, I know they need to save salary.
yeah. I mean,
Go ahead.
last year, was he injured most of the season, or he was out a couple games? I know that.
I think the last 2 years, I don't quote me on it, but I want to say he only played like maybe 10, 12 games over the past 2 years with the Saints.
Yeah.
For injuries. So I mean, I don't consider him a big loss.
No.
But I guess the rookie safety they had last year is probably going to take his spot, I would think, right?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, because they're not going to release him without having nobody, there to take a spot. Let's see, Saints.
Yeah, because I mean, you release Marcus May to save money, but you can't. Even if they get under the salary, I don't think they have a lot of money to spend in free agency.
Yeah, they have an article according to Saints Wire for USA Today. I mean, we could go target somebody in free agency, but like you just said, I mean, will we have the money to do it? I mean, because we're over the salary cap. So Xavier McKinney from the New York Giants, he's a free agent that they could go after. Justin Simmons, he was recently released from the Broncos.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how much money he's going to want is the question.
Right. Exactly.
Deshaun Jenkins, I mean, that's the thing. You got these players that you can go after, but it's like going to the store and not having your wallet. You can buy you have the chance to buy stuff, but you can't because you don't have no money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and the Saints do this every year.
Yeah.
They push this money down the road every year.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like this year, $80 million over the cap.
Yes.
Then you got to release players. You got to restructure. And eventually, it's going to cost them. I believe that. Eventually, it's going to cost them. They can't continue this.
No, it's starting to, because you have to extend all these players like Tyrann Mathieu. You have to extend his contract in order to save money for your cap. Try to get below your cap before a certain date, but you're extending these players. You're just holding on to these players. That's the main thing. And these players are going to start getting old. And I guess in a couple of years, I mean, you could get rid of Tyrann Mathieu. He's probably going to retire. He's going to finish his career in New Orleans more than likely. Hopefully, we can get a Super Bowl out of that. Another one.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's not looking too good, because I mean, I don't know what kind of offense how our offense is going to do, with Clint Kubiak, I mean, as OC. So we'll have to wait and see, But
yeah,
I mean, yeah, these
and
players
like pushing Tyrann Mathieu, he adding another year to his contract.
Mhm.
Okay, that might not be the worst thing.
No, it's
Because
not.
I believe it is this year. He's like getting $1 million this year, and in 2025, I think he gets $7 million. So it's not like horrible, but I still think you can't do it with everybody. There's just no way.
Oh, you got to start trading players, and you got to start releasing players in order to get that. And I mean, I like the Honey Badger. He's a great player. He's a great teammate.
Right.
And now, are we gonna keep Kamara is the question.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you do cut him, how much money would you save?
Is it worth it more just to keep him than to cut him? Is the question.
Right, exactly. And I don't find Alvin Kamara has been that great the last 2 seasons, but that's just my opinion on it. He's not a horrible running back, but what you're paying him is not what you're getting out of him, I think. So I mean, I would say if you can cut, because you got that rookie from last year, Kendra Miller.
Yes.
So and you still got Jonathan Williams. Is it Jonathan Williams?
Jamal Williams.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
So I mean, use those 2 running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Jamal Williams, you've seen what he did when he was with Green Bay and the Detroit Lions. I mean, so why can't you use him like that? You get rid of Kamara, maybe you save a little money.
Yes.
And you don't have to restructure all these contracts.
Okay, so I went to reddit.com and somebody posted this. This was about a month ago. They can save $11,682,353 if they cut him after June 1st.
Okay.
So we'll know something after June 1st if they decide to cut him.
Yeah, so think about it. I think we're still $10 million over the cap?
Yeah, so if they cut him, they will be under the cap.
Right. So just cutting one player like Alvin Kamara, you're under the cap already.
Yeah.
Instead of pushing another contract down the road, that might get you in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what Sean, like you said, Sean Payton did with the Broncos. They cut Russell Wilson. They got to pay him $85 million dead cap.
Yep, dead cap money. So they're gonna. I don't know what kind of position they're gonna be in because I really haven't been studying the Broncos. I'm just hearing according to articles whenever they come out and alerts and whatnot that they cut Russell Wilson, which I knew they weren't gonna do it. Because Sean Payton and Russell Wilson really didn't get along well. You could tell. I mean, that chemistry wasn't there. So, and like I was talking to you earlier, right before we went live, Sean Payton, I think the reason why he left the Saints was because he didn't want to rebuild. But look what he's doing right now in the Broncos. He has to rebuild.
Right.
I mean,
and I think what Sean Payton wanted was the Chargers job.
Yes.
I think he wanted that because he had a franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert.
It just didn't happen. So,
all right. So here's my question to you. So back in 2006, what would happen if Drew Brees would have went to Miami Dolphins?
And we would have got Dante Culpepper?
Yeah. Do you think we would have the success we had with Drew Brees and Sean Payton?
It's hard to say because Dante Culpepper coming from the Vikings,
he
was not a bad quarterback.
No.
But I think when he went to Miami, he didn't. I don't remember the Miami team in 2006 or whatever. But I want to say it wasn't that good of a team around him. So maybe if he came to the situation Drew Brees came into with Sean Payton, it might have been different. Drew Brees might have been out the league earlier, and Dante Culpepper might have won a Super Bowl. Because Sean Payton is a good quarterbacks coach and good offensive coordinator. So
he has a good offensive mind. Now here's gonna be the really telltale is if Sean Payton has to rebuild. Let's see how good of a coach he is developing a quarterback, developing his own offense. Because if he has to start from scratch, then he's not gonna have the talented players at the moment. He's going to have to build them up. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to build up that offense. He's going to have to build up that team. And we're going to see, okay, was it really the quarterback or the coach?
Right.
Same thing with Pete Carmichael. We all realized it wasn't Pete Carmichael.
Yeah.
Behind, the great mind behind the great offense, the Saints offense, excuse me.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot that the Saints got to do. They got to, if they cut Alvin Kamara, they're under the cap. So that would be one move that you can do. And then Michael Thomas is going to be off the books in a week.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll save some money there too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
next Wednesday at 4 p.m. to be under the cap.
Yeah.
The free agent period officially open. So we'll know in the next couple of days who they're going to keep and who they're going to let go. Now, Alvin Kamara, after June 1st, they can save more money. So,
right.
But
yeah, so they still got to make some moves. And they always do it. They always get under the salary cap somehow, some way. But it's a stressful offseason. It's not like other teams where you can just relax in the offseason.
No.
And have fun with the free agency. It's always stressful.
Yep, correct.
So I wish I don't know. I wish it would be a lot better.
Yeah, me too.
Fans in general, so.
Yeah, because you get a favorite player that you love and love watching play, and then they have to let him go because of salary cap.
Right, exactly. Like an Alvin Kamara, or Marshawn Lattimore if you trade him.
That's why I don't like spending big money on jerseys, because if I get a jersey and then the next year he's gone, it's like, bro, I can't wear my jersey, support my favorite player because now he's on a different team. So that's, I got a Drew Brees jersey. Don't get me wrong. Because I knew Drew Brees wasn't going nowhere. I think he was going to retire before he went to another team.
Yep.
But
that's right. So, we can say it. Like, say they get rid of Alvin Kamara, you have Jamal Williams and Kendra Miller. That's two good running backs. If you trade Marshawn Lattimore, you might save a little money. Mm-hmm. And you have Paulson Adebo and Alante Taylor.
Correct.
So it's not like you're losing depth or talent or anything like that. You still got talent in those positions.
Correct.
So a few moves still got to be made. But anything else to say about the salary cap thing?
Yeah. Was that?
I say anything else to say about salary cap and stuff like that?
No, I guess next week, whenever we do our little podcast, we're gonna find out more for sure.
Right.
Because they're gonna have to be under the cap before free agency, and then I guess that's something we could talk about too. Is like, okay, we have this much money now. Who are we gonna get?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And who we want them to get, because who we want, they don't ever get.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like in the draft. They're like, we'll go after this player. We want this player, and then it's like, wait, who's this guy from this school? Never even heard of. Wait, why are they gonna get this, lineman? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
What do you think's gonna happen to Trevor Penning?
I really don't know, man. I don't know if he.
You can't. I don't think you can get rid of him. He's still on his rookie contract.
He is on his rookie contract, so I don't think you can get rid of him either. But I don't think he can play left tackle. It's been 2 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be his third year.
Yeah, and he hasn't proved anything at all.
No, he has not.
And we really need him to pan out, because Andres Pete, I don't know if he's gonna be with the Saints anymore.
No, I think his time is for him to go.
Right, Ryan
Ramczyk might be too injured to play.
Right. So all you down to is Penning, Ruiz, and Eric McCoy.
Yeah.
So if Penning don't pan out, who you have? Because I don't even know if they signed James Hurst back. or if he's still on the roster. I really don't know.
I I don't know. I mean, I haven't been hearing much about that. So
No, me either. So
but, yeah,
yeah, I'm glad I'm not a general manager or owner, man.
yeah.
That's stressful.
Oh man, I couldn't do it. I could not do that, man.
No,
That's not for me. Trust me.
no.
I'm
People
happy
are making
being
me
a fan.
mad.
I'm happy being a fan, not an owner or anything like that.
Yep.
Because if something goes wrong with the organization, they don't come blame me. I'm just like, yeah,
That's
no,
right.
I love my team. I still support them, but hey, I'm just a fan.
Yep.
So,
You'll support them even if you got to put paper bags over your head again, huh?
yep. I hope it doesn't get to that. I don't
Yeah,
think
me
it
too.
will.
I think
You
paper
know?
bags is a little bit before my time.
Yeah.
So, but
So,
I'm sure there are fans out there that remember that.
oh yeah, there's a lot of fans that remember that. I mean, that was mostly what the '70s and early '80s.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause,
So,
I mean, I was born in '86, so it was before that, I believe,
mhm.
or around that time.
Yeah, I was born in '85, and I don't remember who that time whenever they wore the bags. But I mean, they probably had a couple fans, because we had some losing seasons.
Right.
But honestly, right now, I don't think it's time to pull out the bags. I mean, because we had a winning season last year, so it's not
Yeah.
like we're winning excuse me, like 5-12 or 2-15 or something like that.
Yeah.
Now I heard a little rumor out there that they plan on extending the season to 18 games now.
Yeah. I heard that too. And
Yeah,
I think they're gonna go to 3 preseason games.
we already had 3 preseason.
Okay, 3. Okay. See, I
You
don't
have
watch
to go to
I don't watch preseason too much, so
Nobody does. I
yeah.
mean, I'll watch maybe the first or second game, and the third game they just put in like your third, fourth string players
Right.
just to see who's. I mean, just to see what they got, just to see who's you know gonna
Yeah.
be on the team. I mean, that's it.
Or if somebody gets injured later in the season, you can bring this guy. Well, he was
Yeah.
on the roster at this time, so
Mhm.
we know what he can do. We'll just bring him on the roster for now.
Yeah.
So that's what it's for. But yeah, 18 games for the NFL. I think 18 games is a lot.
It is.
You know,
It really is because it's a lot of games, and that's more games that players could get injured, and it tires them out.
right? And it's not. Then that's not counting wild card, playoff games, all this
Oh
stuff.
no,
So I mean, it's gonna be rough on those players. They want to cut down on concussions and injuries and stuff, but adding 2 games, I think that's gonna hurt it more than anything.
yeah. I mean, now I know you're a big college fan.
Yeah,
Are you happy with the 12 game season? Right?
yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think that's plenty.
I think so
I
too.
mean,
I mean, even if you want to go 13, that's fine, but 12, I think, is plenty enough games.
and now that you have the college football playoff extending to 12 games, you can have more playoff games now.
Exactly. You'll
So,
have at least 4 more playoff games.
so it's not, and I guess technically now you can say college football is being extended for some
Yeah,
teams.
yeah, exactly.
So
You're playing 12 regular season games, and then you play the playoffs, which is 4 more games. So that brings it to what, 16?
mhm,
You're basically playing an NFL season,
pretty
you know.
much, yeah.
So
So yeah,
so
I mean, it's, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see if this NFLPA is going to allow 18 more games. I mean, they have to all vote that and everything. So, but
right, right.
as we all know, the draft is coming up. So, talk about some wide receivers. I don't think the Saints should go after wide receiver in the first round, though. But
No, no.
I heard a little rumor they might trade up to top 10, maybe. Of course, that's the internet. That's rumors going around. Might not be true, might not. I mean, might
Yeah.
excuse me. So, I mean, but wide
If
receiver,
But if they trade up to the top 10, who do you think they would go after? Not a specific player, but maybe position.
It have to be quarterback. I mean,
Quarterback.
I don't think you could trade up in the top 10 to go after an offensive lineman or wide receiver unless you really see a wide receiver you really love. But honestly, I wouldn't do it. I mean, because like Derek Carr, unless you extend his contract a couple more years because of salary cap, he's not our future. And I always said this, whenever we had Drew Brees, we should have had drafted a quarterback and started grooming him to be our next franchise quarterback. You had Drew Brees right there, could help, teach him, and he could learn from Drew Brees. Hey, that would have been awesome. Learn behind Drew Brees and Sean Payton.
Right.
But I don't understand why the Saints never did that.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I mean, they took two quarterbacks that I can remember, but it wasn't until like the third, fourth, fifth round where they took Ian Book and who is it? Garrett Grayson.
Yeah.
I think he was from like Colorado or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just hoping that these guys turn out to be good.
Yes.
If you would draft a quarterback in the first or second round that you kind of know played very well in college and stuff, and sit behind like a Drew Brees, you know they're gonna be okay. Look at Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. Jordan Love did good in college. I think it was at Utah.
Yeah.
And so I can't tell you what round they drafted him in, but I'm sure they drafted him pretty high. And so he sat behind Rodgers for like 3-4 years. And now look what he's doing with Green Bay. So if the Saints could have done that, I mean, I think it would have worked out better for the Saints.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, which draft was Lamar Jackson in?
Oh, man.
Let me pull it up on my.
That had to be at least 9 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm not 100% sure.
2018 draft.
The what?
2018 NFL draft. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why I bring this up. Let me see. No, I don't want Dallas Fort Worth. I'm looking up the draft order right now. Baker Mayfield went first in the first overall. So reason why I say this is because Lamar Jackson went number 32. All right. So the thing, we picked Marcus Davenport up that year. So as we're all aware, Marcus Davenport is no longer on the team.
Right.
So we could have picked Lamar Jackson. So imagine having Lamar Jackson on our team and learning from Drew Brees. Now, I think he's more of a mobile quarterback.
Right.
He's not a pocket quarterback.
Yeah.
So I don't know how well he would fit in our scheme, though. But still, I mean, we had so many.
Yeah, I know what you're saying right there. I mean, you could have had a quarterback to sit on the Breeze for a few years. And a quality quarterback like Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
So, but you didn't do it. You got a Marcus Davenport who didn't even play more than 4 or 5 years with the Saints.
And he was always injured.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. Whenever he did play well. He had some great plays. He had some great stops. But, like first round, Peyton Turner. He hasn't been playing well. I mean, neither. He's always been injured.
Yeah.
So far, and look, Chris Olave and Trevor Penning, we went pick him up. Chris Olave is playing well.
Yeah.
He's a great wide receiver. Trevor Penning might be a bust.
Right.
So it seems like
what's the difference between those two players? Chris Olave came out of Ohio State, a great college, Power 5 school, and Trevor Penning came out of I can't even think of the school right now. It's some off the wall school that he didn't play anybody. He didn't play top tier talent.
Northern Iowa.
Yeah. See, I mean, he played there, so he's not playing guys that went to the NFL.
Not playing quality SEC players or
right.
Big Ten or Pac-12, anything like that. So I mean,
that's the differences.
Who did we draft last year in the first round?
Who did we draft? I'm trying to think. You put me on the spot here. um, the guy out of Clemson, the defensive end.
Oh yeah, Brian Brzee.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, he's doing well so
And
far.
then
He had a couple good plays.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I
true.
think they took the guy out of Notre Dame in the second round, didn't they? Another defensive lineman.
Isaiah Foskey.
Yeah. Or did he come later?
I think he was the third round.
Third round. Okay. But yeah, they took the guy from Clemson, Brian.
Yeah, Brian Brzee. I remember that because that was one position they needed.
Right. Well, yeah, because Cam Jordan's getting older. I mean, he can't do it all.
Yeah, I mean, we have all those old players. Demario Davis. He's getting up there in age. Then Honey Badger.
Yeah.
So I mean, we have to go young. That's the NFL nowadays. Is young teams. Young head coaches, young coaches. I mean, offensive minded coaches too. Except Andy Reid. I mean, he's doing well. He's a great head coach too.
Right. Yeah, he's always been a good coach.
Mhm.
But now he got Patrick Mahomes, so that really helps.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Jason Kelsey retired.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a future Hall of Famer center for sure. So,
yeah.
He's a great player to watch. He was a great character too off the field. So, and they have that podcast, New Heights podcast. I listen to occasionally. Jason and Travis Kelsey, the brothers.
I never listened to it.
I listened to a couple of them. They're pretty good. So
yeah,
but,
might have to check it out.
Yeah,
but, we can go ahead and get into some of the top 5 receivers in the draft.
So you're like I said, I'm not really familiar with college football. That's more of your field right there. So most of the players, what kind of seasons they had. So I'm gonna bring up the little list that I looked up earlier. So let's see.
Yeah.
Get your take on it. This is off of PFF.com. So first and foremost, Marvin Harrison Jr. out of Ohio State.
He's not a bad player. He actually went. He was top 3 with the Heisman voting, which he shouldn't have been. But his dad played in the NFL for years, and stuff like that. So he's a really good player. He's very quick, a great route runner. He's probably gonna go, I would think, top 4, top 5.
Yeah,
I would think, because that's how good he is.
Now, you see the Saints moving up to pick him? Would you want the Saints to move up to pick him, or
not really?
Not really. So
no. I think we're good with Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, A.T. Perry's okay.
Yeah,
I think you can get a good receiver in the second round.
Correct. Yes.
So I don't think you need to move up for a receiver.
Because if I'm not mistaken, we have a first round pick, a second round pick, and then we don't have a pick until a 5th round.
Right. We have 3
5th round pick?
No, 3 what's that word? It's hard for me to say it. Compensatory.
Compensatory, yeah.
But I don't know what picks they are. But I know that I've seen it today on Twitter that they have 3 whatever. I can't
we got some more picks in the 5th round. So we might be able to find a couple good wide receivers in the 5th round. So, all right. So we have our first round pick, 14. So round 2, we have our pick 45. That's from Denver.
Right.
For the Sean Payton trade. Then, 5th round, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 5th round picks.
Yeah.
Pick 149, pick 167, pick 169, pick 174. Then we pick up a round 6 pick, 192. Round 6, 201 from Philadelphia. And then round 7, 230 from Denver. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 picks.
Right. And so they can package up a couple 5th round and stuff like to move up to the 3rd or 4th round.
If they want to move up in the 2nd round to the 30, 30-something pick, they can put in a couple fifth round picks and say, here, we want to move up to get a wide receiver that we like, or heck, even an offensive lineman,
Yeah, exactly.
Or they might do that in the first round. They might say, well, hey, here's what we're going to give you. You want Marshawn Lattimore? You want our couple of fifth round picks? We'll give you don't give them a first round pick of next year. Don't do that.
No,
don't do that. No, don't be like, we'll give you a first round pick and here, let's give you all this. Yeah, don't do a Mike Ditka neither.
Yeah, give everything up.
Give everything up. Oh my goodness. I think everybody's gonna run this Allen out the everybody's gonna run this Allen and Mickey Loomis out of town if that ever happens.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we don't want to relive that day.
I mean, okay, let's just play this game. If he trades every pick this year for one player, who would the player be?
Quarterback for sure.
Yeah.
If you want Jaden Daniels, I mean, yeah, you don't give that up no matter what. But if you go crazy, I mean, you might. Hey, if you're going crazy, go right ahead. Just go get Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would say. Go get a quarterback.
Yep. Hey, if you're even more crazier, go get Caleb Williams while you're at it. Just forget Jaden Daniels. Just go after Caleb Williams. Oh
right.
my. Yeah, I don't think that's a wise choice, but
I don't think so either.
So, okay. So getting back to the list. Now, you know this guy very well. Number 2, Malik Neighbors out of LSU.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Malik Neighbors. Yeah, he should have been a Heisman finalist, not Marvin Harrison. I believe Malik Neighbors had like over 600 yards more than Marvin Harrison, had one more touchdown than him. Oh, yeah, he was a good receiver. More yards after catch. All the stats, he dominated the stats.
Yeah.
But I believe because of Marvin Harrison's name recognition, he kind of got the spotlight put on him.
Correct.
But I believe Malik Neighbors is actually the better receiver over Marvin Harrison. And that's not just saying I'm an LSU fan and I'm biased or anything.
Yeah, correct.
But the stats just prove how much Malik Neighbors outplayed Marvin Harrison.
Now, where do you see him being drafted in the first round?
I would say in the top 10.
Okay.
I would think in top 10.
I don't think the Saints should draft him. No. They should go after him.
Right. I don't believe that either.
No.
I mean, now, with the 14th pick, if Malik Neighbors does drop that far, maybe take him, pair him up with Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, A.T. Perry, and maybe that'll help Derek Carr. Who knows?
Yeah, but I don't see that happening. He's not going to be going in the he's going to be probably going to 10th, top 10.
Yeah, I believe so too.
He's not going to fall to number 14.
Right.
So, yeah, I just don't see that happening though. But all right. So number 3, Rome Dunze from Washington.
Yeah, I didn't watch a whole lot of Washington games because they're like on the West Coast and they usually play like 9:00 games Central Time here. And I'm like, I don't watch a lot of those games. But Washington, they went undefeated through the whole season. They made the national championship game. They got blown out. But I mean, he was a good receiver though. I mean, he was really decent. I don't see him going. He's probably going to go maybe late first round. I don't see him going early.
Yeah. And I don't think the Saints could go pick him.
They better not.
Yeah.
They better not.
I mean, because I don't know. Like I said, if they're gonna go in they're gonna trade up to get in the top 10. I mean, the only thing I see is a quarterback. I mean, if you really like a quarterback, that's the only thing I see. Because I don't see him trading up to get an offensive lineman unless he can cover half the field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
If he has big old arms like a bird, if he can cover half the field, then go right ahead. I mean, if he can play 3 or 4 positions by himself, go right ahead. But I don't see that happening. So, and most of the teams don't do that. They'll trade up to. Now, last year, I think Houston traded up, but they traded up 1 pick to get Will Anderson.
Right.
I think they had the fourth pick.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good trade up to get
Yeah.
him.
Oh yeah,
You know,
that was real good. And they got a good team. They got have a great team.
Right.
Houston. I mean, I like CJ Stroud a lot. You know.
Right. And they got a young team.
Oh yeah, and they got a good head coach too. A good defensive minded head coach too.
Right.
So.
Yep. I can see the Texans winning a Super Bowl within the next 3 years or so.
Oh yeah, I would love to see CJ Stroud. I like him a lot, and he's a Christian. You know, he's a strong Christian. He's always thanking Jesus. You know, which is amazing to see. You know, so amazing to witness.
You don't see it often.
What's that?
I say, yeah, you don't see it often.
No, not in this world we live in. So, but here's another guy you know of, Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU.
Yeah, he's another one. He actually had more yards than Marvin Harrison Jr. as well.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin Harrison Jr. had, I think, more touchdowns than Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
But Brian Thomas, I mean, he was a deep threat. I mean, he probably averaged 25 to 28 yards a reception at LSU.
Okay.
He's a great route runner. And actually, his 40-yard dash in the NFL Combine, he actually ran a 4.34. So that's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's fairly quick.
Yeah, and I think he's like 6'3", 210 pounds, something like that.
Now, who's the Ohio State quarterback this year?
Ohio State's quarterback. Man, I can't remember his name, but he don't even play for them no more. Kyle McCord.
Yep, that's it.
He played over there. He's not even on their team anymore. He transferred out.
I guess it was because of offense. Did they use Marvin Harris a lot? Or because you said
that's all they used. He was the only besides the running back, Marvin Harrison was the offense.
Yeah, because you said that Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. had more yards than him, so that's why I was curious of how did they use Marvin Harris in their system. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I didn't know if they spread out the ball, if they had if they had like 3 or 4 other wide receivers they would throw to, kind of spread the ball out.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison was the one that got most of the targets.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, like Brian Thomas on LSU had over 1,200 yards receiving this year, and I think Malik Neighbors had about 1,800 yards receiving.
Okay.
So I believe Marvin Harrison Jr. had like 1,100 or maybe even 1,200. So, so Marvin Harrison didn't do bad, but the way they put him on this pedestal and say he's the best receiver, I don't believe he is.
And LSU spread out the ball, correct?
Right.
I mean, well, you got top 2 prospects in the top 5 from LSU, so surprisingly nobody from Alabama. Well,
no,
Jermaine Burton.
Jermaine, he's a talented receiver, but Alabama didn't really have a good receiving core this year. But their quarterback play wasn't that good either.
Yeah.
I forget who their quarterback was, but he didn't really have that big of games or anything either.
Is he entering the draft this year?
Who's that?
Alabama's quarterback. I know who it is. I just can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's slipping my tongue. Man, what's his name?
Milroe.
There you go, Jalen. Yep. No, he actually stayed at Alabama. So there were rumors that he was entering the transfer portal because
Nick Saban left.
The Washington coach went over to Alabama.
Yeah.
And they had a quarterback from Ole Miss that transferred to Washington that was going to enter the transfer portal at Washington and go to Alabama because the coach left. But I don't think that happened, so Jalen Milroe stayed at Alabama. So I still don't look at Jalen Milroe as a top quarterback, so I don't know how their receivers are going to do.
Yeah,
and that's why they don't have top draft picks this year either.
And Alabama, nobody's going to fill Nick Saban's shoes. I mean, that's impossible.
Oh yeah, I mean,
There's never going to be another.
the expectations you had at Nick Saban, it was national championship or bust. I mean, that's
Yeah,
the way you looked at it because
and
he
you
was
can't,
there every year.
yeah, oh yeah, and you can't expect this coach to be national
Right,
championship or bust. I mean, there's no
right,
one. I mean, just like Bill Belichick. Well, Bill Belichick kind of fell off a little bit, but
yeah,
you know, I mean, that's what everybody expects. Whenever they have a good head coach in their system, like, well, they got so used to winning and going championships. Now, I mean, I don't know what to expect out of Alabama to say. I don't know what kind of coach he's gonna do. I mean, I don't know how well they're gonna perform, but
right.
I know in your case, you're hoping they don't perform well.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
don't like Alabama.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, LSU like, yeah, I hope they go 0-12.
Yeah.
I hope they're horrible.
Oh yeah.
Just like the Saints with the Falcons. I hope the Falcons go 0-18, 0-17 every year. Same
That's
thing
right.
with the Falcons. I hope the Saints go 0-7. Yeah, that
Yeah.
rivalry
Same
is strong. Unless you're Dennis Allen, then you start apologizing. Like, I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Don't. Oh,
Oh yeah, I know, man. I know.
all
I
right.
know.
So they had one
But
more on
Brian,
that list.
but Brian Thomas, I think, is probably going to go in the second round.
Mhm.
So right there, I wouldn't mind the Saints taking somebody like that.
Yeah, if he's available in the second round, and if they think he's a good, yeah, then I can say yes.
Yeah.
And then Troy Franklin, Oregon.
Yeah, I didn't watch a whole lot of Oregon games, but yeah, I mean, he was a pretty decent receiver. I don't know a lot about him, but the Oregon offense was, I mean, they were really good. I mean, they averaged over 30 points a game. I mean, they did big things on offense. I think he's a speed receiver. Um, so I mean, I don't see him going that high either. Second, third round pick. Um, that's what I would say he would go. But I don't want the Saints to get him either.
No,
I'd take Brian Thomas in the second round. That's what I would do.
yeah. If he's still available, then yes.
Yeah.
But we have the first round, so it's kind of hard to say now. Do we go after pass rusher too? I mean, do we go defense or offense is the question. Like, I would have to look and see what's our really most important need at the moment. Because
Right.
I mean, do you really want to go get a quarterback this year? It's a hit or miss with quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, do
I
you
mean,
want?
and I guess, I mean, we could do a podcast about this too and go through the depth chart for the Saints and see.
We can do that.
We can do that maybe in a next week or the week after. But
Something like that. Yeah.
I mean, we could just do it really quickly. If you look at the defensive line, you need help. You did draft two of them last year.
Yes.
But besides Cam Jordan, who else do you have? You still got Malcolm Brown, Malcolm Roach, whatever.
I think he's still there.
Yeah, so you got depth pieces like that, but I don't think they're like dominant defensive linemen. So you can draft that position. Linebackers, you got Demario Davis, who's aging. You got Pete Warner and Zach Vaughn. I mean, you could probably use another linebacker.
Yeah, you got Colin Sanders is one. Carl Granderson.
Oh, Carl Granderson, yeah, defense. I think he's defensive.
And then you got Brian Brzee, and then you got a couple other people. I mean, Isaiah Foskey is right defensive end. Right defensive tackle is Colin Sanders. The left defensive tackle, Nate Shepard. I mean, and then you got Cam Jordan.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you still got some young players like Pete Warner, Zach Bond, Paulson Adebo.
Right.
Debo. Okay.
Right.
And then you got Tyrann Mathieu and then Marshawn Limore. I mean, that's a big question mark. But I think Alontae Taylor might be able to come and take over his starting position. So,
right.
Yeah.
So, I think our defense overall is in good shape.
Yeah.
So, if you want to draft another defensive lineman, I mean, you can do that. Or if you want to draft a linebacker, you can do that too.
Yeah.
I think the corners, you don't have to worry about. I think we're good there.
Yeah, I think we'll be good.
And on offense, the only thing you're missing on offense is offensive lineman and maybe one more receiver. And
Yes.
I mean, and a quarterback too. But I mean, you got Derek Carr, so I'm just saying an offensive lineman and a receiver. That's all you're really missing on offense, I believe.
Now, getting back to quarterback, what happens if Derek Carr gets injured this year? Who are we gonna have? Is
I don't know.
Jameis gonna still be? Are we keeping famous Jameis?
I don't know.
That's a good question. That's a big old question mark right there.
Yeah, because I'm not hearing much about it.
I don't hear nothing hardly about him neither. And then you got Jay Kaner, which, I mean, so who are you gonna have?
I hope Jay Kaner is not the backup.
That's probably why they're thinking about going in top 10. That's probably why they're like, okay, so we got Derek Carr, which is,
we got one of these quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May, one of them.
Nah, I saw a tweet. I don't know how true this is. Michael Penix. He said,
Michael Penix was at Washington. He's not a horrible quarterback. He reminds me of more of a Russell Wilson in his younger day, where he would scramble and make plays scrambling. That's what I think Michael Penix does the best. So, I mean, if you use him like that, I mean, he'll be all right. He's not going to be a pocket passer, I don't think. I mean, if you watch the national championship game, the Michigan made Michael Penix into a pocket passer, and I mean, he didn't do good at all.
Yeah.
So he's more of a scramble quarterback, make plays, running, stuff like that. So, I mean, if the Saints do draft him, it wouldn't be the worst thing. I mean, because he is sitting behind Derek Carr for a year or two anyway.
Yeah. And that's what, I mean, I don't know how well Derek Carr is a teacher. I mean, would you want a quarterback sitting behind Derek Carr right now, learning from Derek Carr?
Yeah, I mean, I never hear that he teaches anybody or does anything, so I really don't know. Now that you say that,
I mean, first of all, he seemed like he blamed every other player except himself whenever mistakes would happen.
Oh, he did do that.
Yeah, so that's not really a good leadership.
Nope.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, now it's kind of hard to say, do we draft a quarterback this year or do we wait until we see what happens with the coaching staff?
Yeah.
Because I mean, this has to be Dennis Allen's last year. It's either make it or break it, or playoffs or bust. I mean,
right.
Yeah,
we're not even asking for a Super Bowl. We're just asking playoffs.
Hold the division. Come on, man. I mean,
was that famous saying for the Saints? The old coach, playoffs.
Yeah, Jim Mora. Playoffs. Yeah. Don't talk to me about playoffs. Playoffs.
Yeah.
I like the other one he used to do. Yeah, we played horrible. We did diddly poop. Yeah, there we go. We did diddly poop today. Yeah, that was another one I liked a lot. Man, that was a fun coach to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, they went to the playoffs under him the first time ever, and then they won the first playoff game with Jim Haslett. So, I mean, we had losing seasons. We were horrible, as you could tell in the past. So, I mean, as a Saints fan, seeing us win, I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked them in the past too. I liked Archie Manning. Well, that was before my time, but we got used to Sean Payton and Drew Brees. Now we're back to, we're
back to Aaron Brooks.
Yeah. And Dennis Allen. But I mean, hopefully we get to see those brighter days again.
Yeah. I mean, and I mean, probably one of the last things I'll say about this is I don't think the Saints are far off.
No.
They do have a few positions of need, but I don't think they're far off. A couple offensive linemen, a receiver, another defensive lineman, linebacker. I mean, I think we're set if we can hit on all our draft picks, pick up a free agent here or there. I mean, I don't think we're far off.
No, I don't
So,
think we're off neither. We still got pieces that we need to fulfill. We need pieces to a puzzle that we need to get. Excuse me. So,
yeah.
I mean, like you said, we're not far off, but it's gonna be an interesting season. Because now we got a new offensive coordinator. So let's see what our offense can do. This Allen, you just need to stand back and worry about the defense.
Yeah, worry about your defense. That's right.
Like remember what was it years ago? The meat market. He was a worker at Rouse's, and he asked Sean Payton about the team, and Sean Payton said, "Worry about your meat."
I didn't hear that.
I heard that. That was funny, dude. Yeah, worry about your beef or something. Worry about your meat. And he's like, yeah, I was like, dude, he said that. Wow, that was. I heard that about Sean Payton. Sean Payton didn't care. He told you like it was. If he didn't like it, you were getting traded. Ask Jimmy Graham. Ask Jimmy Graham and Brandon Cooks about that.
That's right. Jimmy Graham, he got. I mean, they just let him go too.
Yeah, I think he's going to retire.
Yeah.
So, but they didn't really they utilized him a little bit last year, but I mean, yeah. So
yeah. So I mean, that's all I really got to say on all this. I mean,
yeah, there's not really much else to say. It's still, the draft is coming up in the end of the month, next month, excuse me. So about a month and a half away. So we're all looking forward to that to see what's going to happen. So, and not much state news except Michael Thomas going off on Jeff Duncan. The norm.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
But,
so everybody hit that subscribe button, like button, share button, and comment button. And I guess we'll see y'all next week.
Yep. Until then, who dat?